Leadership Redefined. Hans Isaac isn't just an award-winning actor, director and producer. He's a visionary entrepreneur, champion golfer and rising political voice. On this episode of Cuba Cerita, he shares bold perspectives on leading Malaysia forward, bridging multicultural divides and transforming education. A masterclass in purpose-driven leadership. Hear his point of view on That's the Malaysia We Want. Assalamualaikum and welcome to this episode of Cuba Cerita. We always having fun meeting old friends and acquaintances. Tonight, we're doing it at Bayang Coffee Cafe, Taman Tun. So thanks again. Shout out to Bayang Coffee Cafe. If you haven't been here, please make it a point to visit here. But tonight, we've got a celebrity, come businessman, come entrepreneur, politician, known to a lot, but there's still a lot we still can learn about. Dato Hans Isaac.
Hi bro, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Hi.
I know you're busy and you still made time. We've tried to get you on a few occasions. Finally got you tonight. My crew were asking, first of all, Coach, how actually do you know Hans Isaac? So actually, Hans and I participated in this corporate celebrity tennis event years ago, organized by NST. And obviously we loved the tennis, but we became friends. And then we had a larger group of friends. We would play tennis, and we don't play tennis anymore. But still, thankfully, we're keeping in touch. And I know you're extra busy as ever, but you still make it a point. As I said, you're one of the guys. If I send a message, sekejap saja you dah jawab, no matter how busy you are, and I really respect that.
That's a habit I have. I answer back.
Thank you so much.
WhatsApps very quickly.
Yeah. So it's been a busy day for you.
It has been. It's my 7th appointment today.
Really?
7 more tomorrow.
But that's
tomorrow.
you. That's you. That's what I read about you, what I hear about you.
Yeah.
So, Hans, this is really Cuba Cerita, learning about you as a person. And then there'll be certain topics which I want to cover with you. I've read and I know about you. Yes, you are number one, a Johanian. Yep, true and true. But more importantly, I was very fascinated by your personal story, and maybe you can elaborate a bit. I'll show you what I read about you. You're of course mixed parentage. Your mother is of Filipino descent, your father is of Indian descent, but essentially,
both sides have Portuguese.
Portuguese, I've got Portuguese.
Your 50%
Portuguese,
right? 50% Portuguese, 25% Indian, and 25% Filipino.
Okay.
But I was born in Johor Bahru, and I'm a Malaysian, of course. So it's very mixed.
That's the thing about you, and also I understand your mom's side of the family. Your grandfather, they established the Singapore Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yes.
You grew up in that surrounding of artists and in Singapore. Your father was in the Navy.
Yes.
And technically, you're first generation Malaysian.
Yes.
Your parents were from Singapore. Mashallah. And I understand as a naval officer's family, you moved from Johor to Cebu, Sarawak, eventually to KL.
From KD Malaya to KD Sirajang to Mindef. So we moved around to a lot of Navy bases when we were younger. So I grew up in going to school in a truck, in military truck. And in Cebu back in the day, in the early 70s, there was still a bit of communism there and so on. And I used to have an armored car and a bodyguard with a gun, following me to school and standing outside the door. It was just weird, but I was very young. We didn't know anything. I was a standard 1, standard 2. We didn't know what was going on, you know what I mean? Just in case they kidnap us and so on. So it was basically to protect the family, because my dad was obviously in a position in the Navy in Cebu at that time. But this was many years ago, and today Cebu has changed, more developed, and it's very different today.
And so there's a mixture of you being from the performing arts, maybe from your mother's side, and your dad's side, very disciplined, strict in terms of your upbringing also, I hear.
Yeah, so I think both things worked for me, because obviously the creative side comes from my mom's side, my grandfather. I think I mentioned a story about my grandfather, and a lot of people don't know this story, that he was actually passing through Singapore at that time, Temasek, and basically on the ship, he had his violin in his little bag, and he decided, from what I know from the story from my mom and my aunties in Singapore, was that he decided to just jump off the boat and say, this looks like a cool place, I'll get off the boat here. He was not supposed to jump off the boat and be in Singapore, Temasek at that time. And then obviously from there he started, in the music world in Singapore, and created the first, Singapore Symphony Orchestra, and and I grew up with that, in that environment as a little boy. Yeah, my late mom was a piano teacher. All the sisters and aunties, 4 boys and 4 girls, all of them musically inclined. So we grew up with that, but. And my dad was obviously disciplined through the Navy. We were always, the penance was cleaning 20 boots and make sure my dad came back, he could see his face in the boot.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So we had to use our fingers and water and kiwi, and basically as a way to clean the shoe. So, that was how we grew up. We were very disciplined.
Okay.
My dad used to come back. We had a long driveway in the house, the Navy base. And when he comes back with the staff car and the armored car at the back, the maid would say, your dad is coming home. So we all have to rush down the road where the guardhouse was, and then wait like a soldier, and he pass and we'll tabik, spring, and run all the way to the house before the car can sampai the door. And then we have to open the door for him and then cium tangan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even in those amazing.
Back in the day, we were disciplined in that way.
And you are youngest of 4?
No, I'm the middle child. My sister is the youngest one. My brother is the oldest one.
Also 3 of you.
Yeah.
I see.
That was my growing up days.
Yeah.
It was very different then, We used to climb trees, make tree house. The longkang was our swimming pool. The paddy field in front of our house was basically the playground.
Okay.
We had, we had the pets that were hornbills, deer, honey bear.
Oh, you remember all that?
Yeah. So I grew up in that environment. Sungai Rejang in Cebu was our our highway basically. That was our road.
Yes.
The Lion Club in Cebu, So Cebu, I have a very soft spot for Cebu, and especially when I go to Sarawak, I always tell the story about Cebu and my family.
But the remaining, from 8, 9, you were growing up in KL, and of course St. John's and all that.
Of course, then got from standard 3, I went to St. John's, and then obviously to high school, St. John's Institution, from primary institution, and then got involved with a lot of sports in school. I was more in the field than in the classroom. There are many stories about that as well. St. John's is a very disciplined school, the brothers' school at that time, as you know. And sports was always up there with Mr. David, Freddie Fernandez, David Fernandez, Vincent Fernandez, and so on. So, I was always on the field as a goalkeeper. And I remember one day that I dropped the ball and the other school scored. I was a goalkeeper, and David Fernandez came in the morning and says, "You hold this ball the whole day. Do not let this ball go. Whatever you do today, if not, you're going to get into trouble." So in the morning, I had to hold a football everywhere I went in school. Malu lah, because the whole school knew we lost 1-0 because of me. So I never made that mistake again. So I thank him for it.
Yeah. No, I think that's the beauty. I think, and again, when you're in that type of school, you can try everything. Yeah. Were you ever on stage? Because they used to have a lot of plays.
Never.
Nothing at all.
Never. I was on the football field. I was played hockey, softball for the school. I was a shortstop. You know what I mean? And I was a goalkeeper for the school. I spent a lot of time on the field. I enjoyed that. And I went to school, getting through the classes to wait for training.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I enjoyed that part. And it was discipline as well, because we had to get there on time. That put discipline in me, I think. But my dad's background of being in the Navy, doing sports, I always feel sports is always a good way of developing an individual. It says a lot of character of how you handle draw, win or lose. You know what I mean? It shows a lot of character, how you react to losing, how you react to people. When you're tackled badly, do you attack back physically, or do you take it and say, all right, I know what to do next? And when you're done with a tournament or a game, you shake hands and say, that was left on the field. We're still normal people when we finish. You know what I mean? So, it gave me a lot of discipline, I think.
And of course, in those days, you don't care which race
No,
or
tak
group
kisah,
of
man.
society who you are.
No, you can be come
are
from
Hans Isaac on the field.
family yang kaya ke apa ke, nobody cares, man.
Kan?
We just care who you were in front, kita kawan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had my friends who were from the Indian background, you know, Muslims, you know, Christians, Catholics, they were just, you know, Sikhs. We didn't care, you know. There was no such thing of what your background was.
We knew you by name and maybe by perangai lah.
Yeah, perangai sikit ataupun if you represent the school, oh ni school runner.
Yeah.
You know, you were labeled for that, or this is a debater, or this is, you know, a prefect, or
Yeah.
this is a head of the class, or you know, you were labeled like in that sense, but you were never labeled through your ethnicity or anything that, you know, you grew up on, in that sense, you know. Yeah, it was great times.
So, I know, from what I read, understand, you actually were never in the performing arts in
Never.
school. Then you left school at some point in your life. You actually, I know you started acting in Ringgit Kesoga, but
Yeah.
that also was by chance. That
By
was with
chance. I
Diana
mean,
Yusof.
if I give you more breakdown, it was basically I finished high school and then I was offered to model and do commercials.
Okay.
And obviously I needed money. We didn't come from a family that was, you know, had that kind of money. But we were good. We had enough. We had a roof. We had food. You know, we couldn't travel lavishly or so on. That was not in our books, you know, at that time. But I thought, you know what, I got to earn my own money. You know what I mean? So modeling and commercials is where I made my money at 21 years old, 2021. And then only I opened my first company at 22, and then I got into acting at 22, 23, you know, and that was a chance because I was doing a commercial with Diana Yusof, and she was an award-winning actress at that point, and she was doing a film called Ringgit Kesoga with Shoaimi Baba, and we were doing the shoot below the office of Shoaimi Baba in the studios. So she and a makeup artist called D forced me to do the casting upstairs. And I said, no, I'm not an actor, I'm not this. I'm just doing modeling to get through education and I want to be a businessman. But then masa tu pun Diana Yusof tu cantik.
Yalah.
Kita pun macam cantik juga perempuan ni kan. Perempuan cantik suruh kita buat benda kita macam okey lah, pergilah, you know, nak layan perempuan cantik kan. So because of that, my entire life and my direction in life changed. And that shows that sometimes you should take opportunities that you may not realize you're doing something that will adjust your life to a different direction than you thought it was going to go. I never thought I'll be an actor. I never thought I'll be in industry. I never thought I'll be in politics. I never thought I would be the chairman of Finas or Papadana Stadium. I never thought that I'll be serving, you know, Malaysia in the little I can. You know what I mean? You know, at that point. Today I love doing that. I love serving. You know, that's a because I've developed, I think, maybe some form of leadership that I like, and being a leader or being a leader in your own office with your staff or a team. It was like a football game. Like if you're the captain of the team, you know, you're the guy that steps up. You're the guy that pushes everybody forward before you as well. You know what I mean? And I thought, you know, that was maybe a strong point I had. So you know, and always everybody told me, you're a leader. You're not a follower. I was like, what do you mean, leader, follower? I had to figure out what's a leader, what's a follower. Yeah. So I realized that a leader is not basically you lead everybody behind you. A leader is basically creating more leaders.
Yeah.
Creating more opportunity for the people around. You know what I mean? And I thought that that's something I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing young people's success. I enjoyed seeing businessmen successful do business. You know what I mean? I enjoyed someone building a house and it was perfect the way she wanted it. I always appreciate things like that. You know? Yeah.
No, actually, if for what I know of you, you've always had energy. I mean, obviously you have energy, but you've got the type of energy we call it maybe kederat tau. Macam you got a lot of desire to do things.
Yeah.
I remember even putting into point, you know, you love golf, and you even, you know, practice doggedly to
4 or 5 hours a day.
in that world
amateur
golf competition
in
Turkey. And you actually won the Malaysian qualifying to actually go. And at that time, I was thinking to myself, okay, I mean, you've got 101 things you're doing at the same time, but maybe there's something in you. I mean, maybe it's a bit embarrassing to talk about, but there's something in you that when you go for something, when you do it properly with a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work. I think till today, kan.
I think how else would you want to live your life? You know, would you like to live your life 50%?
True.
Would you like to live your life 100%? You know, I mean, to each his own. I
Sure.
don't judge anybody who gives 50% or 60%. If that is your best, so be it. You know, my best is probably different than yours, and I can't
Yeah.
judge someone to say, "Hey, you can't keep up with me." You know what I mean? Or you're not like how I want to do things. I've realized that you know people have different characters. We all may be, say for all of us are Malaysians, but all our characters are different, and you can't change that. They will only know what's best for them. You know, you can't force it down someone's throat. in
But
that sense.
how in reflection maybe are you able to get people to keep up with what you want to do?
I think by being a team player.
Okay.
For instance, if I do a musical theatre, I may rehearse with the actors and then work with the musicians and the musical director and the choreographer. At the end, in the theatre, the set's being built with the technical team and production team.
Okay.
When I'm done at 8 o'clock with my actors and my team, they all go home. I have a quick meal and I go and build a set with my team. I'm taking the hammer and nail and I'm sweeping the stage floor. You know, even though I'm the producer and the director, and you know, I go and participate with them.
I see.
You know, I make sure that I'm part of the process when somebody else is creating as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But do they feel that you're venturing into their space? How do you manage
No.
that?
You have to manage and allow them to do what they need to do first. And then as a director, or if it's your idea, obviously you will guide the choreographer or Michael Verpan. I don't have to guide lah. Michael Verpan's, you know, if he's doing music, it's just like he tells me, I say yes. You know, we follow. But there's sometimes I'll say, Mike, I feel I need a piece here, this musical piece here, and he's like, when do you need it? I say I need it tomorrow morning, and he will say, all right, it's in the booth, Hans. I'll get it done.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he will come with always something better than whatever I said. So you must have those people around you as well.
Yeah.
Another thing I like to do is, I don't like to have a production of 200 people on a production or anything I do that is just by one race. I mix it up with young guys and girls. I mix it up with Chinese, Indian, even sometimes there's a foreign, someone's son who's in UK and is staying in Malaysia for 2 months and wants some experience. I say, come on board. I like that mix of people because then we start to communicate differently. We understand each other's mindset and that broadens our future and how we're going to develop ourselves as well, you know. You must learn from other people to understand where you want to go. It may be right or wrong, but at least you know, okay, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. I've always said that we need to fail to succeed. And you know, I'm not saying my life is perfect. I've failed a lot of times, bro. A lot of times. I have failed a lot of times. Sometimes duduk pun pernah.
Yeah lah.
Duduk sampai I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. I have lost everything in my life. I have been with no money at sometimes. I felt that. I've like nak keluar rumah pun tak boleh. I felt it, but nobody knows. I keep it to myself.
Yeah lah.
You know, and then there are times when you do and you're successful, and then you know people try to shoot you down, and you know, and you're just like, it's all right. That's what you think. I'm cool. I still have my race to go. You know, this is my race.
Yeah. And you know, you've always been in business.
Yeah.
I mean, Tall Order Productions is, you know, one of your prides and joys, kan? But you've always had that business acumen. That's one thing I know about you. Again, coming from the corporate world, I don't engage or interact with many people from the arts, for example, but you are one of few that I've observed that your business acumen is just as strong as any other corporate leader. Yeah. The way that you think things out is no different, or if not, sometimes even better, I must say, than some of the corporate leaders that I have, and it's good. And I think you've been rewarded or acknowledged with senior roles on behalf of the government and public sector also. You know, the national stadiums body, now of course Finas. These are huge responsibilities, kan?
Yeah.
But at this stage of your life, kan, of course politics also has come into play. But what is your priority? How do you, if you had to really like say, this is now what I want to do as part of my ambition at this stage of my life, what would it be?
Wow, I never thought about that one right now. That's a good question, actually. I think I like to put everything in line that it can function on its own.
Okay.
Whether I'm in Finas as chairman now, for the second time I've been chairman in Finas, I want to walk away from Finas to know that this machine that I have put together with the team, with the CEO, Dato Azmi, and the board directors and the minister, that we can walk away from it and say this machine can continue to move after what we've done to it.
Okay.
And people down the line can benefit out of it. in many ways. I'm not talking about just financially. I'm also talking about opportunity. That the process that everybody goes through in time to come will be laid out by us. You know, I'm not saying the previous regimes have done, did not do their work. They did, but maybe this regime and this time that we are holding positions can allow us to make those changes and tweaks for this machine to run smoothly. I have only 2 years. This is one term. It's my second term as chairman. I cannot come back as chairman. This is going to be the last one.
I see.
I cannot be renewed under the policy and the government policy. So I know this is my last shot in Finas.
Okay.
So I'm impatient right now a little bit with the team and I keep telling Dato Azmi, he was like, okay, I've been 3 months. Now it's action time.
Okay.
Now we execute.
Politics. Hans, why?
I
mean, you're busy. You're busy. I'm not saying you can't be a good politician. In fact, I know you were in the running for an important seat for PKR in the last election. Maybe for other reasons not unknown to us, it didn't happen. But I mean, even I personally at one time was invited to join UMNO Youth lah, you know. But I somehow again, this is the kederat tau. Dia punya desire, dia punya energy, dia punya passion too. So actually I tabik lah to people like you who even desire to do something through politics. You already do something through so many other facets already. So tell us, how did you actually come about getting yourself involved in politics?
First thing, about 10 years ago, I thought about it already. But I was at that time in my, a bit more than that actually, my mid-30s, I was really acting in a lot of films. I was at the prime of my career as an actor. I was directing musicals, the biggest musicals in Malaysia. I was acting in most films, acting in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Singapore, in Philippines. And I thought, you can't be an actor and you want to be a politician. So I had to get this done with this side of my life, this first segment of my life. I call it maybe Act 1 or Act 1.5 or 2 of my life. But I thought that one day, I'd like to serve the country. How I want to serve the country, I didn't know. And one day we were with friends, like norm of what we do, we complain. We sit over teh tarik and we complain about everything. We were complaining about country, jalan ni tak bagus jalan, itu traffic jam lah, ini tu benda ni, bahan ni. So I thought, you know what? Cukup lah kita bincang kat sini. Why don't we do something about it, guys? If we and I thought, and I used to follow Parliament on TV as well. I don't know why I was watching it. I thought there was a lot of comedy in there, so I was like, okay, it's entertaining.
Good laugh.
Good laugh at times. Sometimes still today, good laugh. But then I thought, the quality of some of those many years ago politicians were probably, I was thinking, I think some of us could be better than that. We could bring a bit more to this than these individuals, you know what I mean? So I thought, enough of complaining. I'm going to do something about it. And I thought, who would I see leading this country in the near future? Who's the individual I thought, and at that point I thought, this is the person. I thought about it and went, macam mana nak set appointment dengan Anwar Ibrahim? Wow.
So you actually...
So I went to his office in Jalan Gasing.
Serious?
I got a meeting with him. And I had a conversation with him for an hour. Just two of us. Sat down in his office, And, we had a nice chat. I thought it was like, wow, this guy's got a lot of chemistry, intelligent, man of the, he knew a lot of, I think he's read hopefully a lot of books, and so on. And I thought, he was talking about the Malays, the Chinese, the Indians, how he was as a Muslim man, and how his religion was very important to him. But his religion obviously says to look after everyone equally and so on, And I thought, wow, this individual is amazing, and I remember that many years ago when he was Deputy Prime Minister, I was racing jet skis in Langkawi. And he was officiating the event. He was Deputy Prime Minister. And I was fixing my jet ski with my engineers, and he walked past and he goes, and that time I was an actor, and he looked at me and goes, hey, good luck, Hans. He knows my name. I was like, what's impressive, man? Yeah. So he left a mark and many years. Obviously, he went to jail and so on. But I was just like, wow, how did he remember my name? You know what I mean? He knew who I was. So maybe he reads, he knows everything in this, And then we had this conversation, and I said, I'd like to. He said, the first thing you got to do, Hans, is does your family agreeable to this for you to join the party? And I said, yes. And then he says, are you ready for this battle? I said, I think I'm mentally ready. I think I'm strong enough to, to support you in the party. So I said, you have to be a member. I became a member straight away. And then he said, where do you stay? I said, Ampang. He goes, Ampang, not another place. Another place. No, Ampang. So he said, okay, go and put Ampang together. Go and get your runtings. Runtings are, we're in the party. I created 162 runtings, one of the highest in the party.
So, and these are?
These are groups of runtings, basically in areas of where we are in Ampang, district areas. And we create our support team.
Wow.
And they become party members.
Okay.
So I created 3,000 new members in like 3-4 months.
Wow.
In Ampang. And I texted, boss, 3,000 members, this is what I got. He's like, very impressive.
Oh.
So he said, now, and basically from that, I proceeded to go for election in the party, and then I went for High Council, the Supreme Council or PKR.
Yes.
And I was top 10 voted in from the party across Malaysia. For my party members voted me in. I was very thankful, and I think I was one of the very few. After I won, I went all around to all the cabangs in Malaysia to thank them. Fantastic. And say thank you. First place, I think I went to Langkawi. And I thanked them up north and started working my way down.
And obviously, it does help that you already are a celebrity that people can connect with. I think,
yeah, it was a bit easier for me.
Yeah, and again, irrespective of race, pula tu.
Yeah, they accepted me, and I appreciate and I thank my party members and the leaders. I had mentors as well. I had very good mentors as well. So I was very fortunate. And I'm obviously I will stay with this party forever. I'm loyal to the party, irrelevant of post position. And I will work for the party. That's basically, you have to have loyalty. No matter your decision you make, you have loyalty. And I have no issues with members joining UMNO or so on. But be quality leaders. We're not here to slander and shoot each other down. We're here to communicate. And without communication and debates, it allows the country to move forward. It allows to give our audience at home an opinion to say, look, I feel that's right and that's wrong. So they can choose. And we must allow that, in our country, and not use race, religion to win an election. We should always focus on the policies, the benefits of the people.
I mean, those who use race and religion, they are weak, because that's the only sort of like argumentative point that they have. They're not able to rise above and think. And I think
I'm friends with, just to share, bro. I'm friends with BN boys,
I'm sure.
even Bersatu and so on, And I can sit down with them and sound, okay, look, we don't shoot each other down personal matters. We go on policy base. We go on argument case that is above us and beyond. So we can do that. And I feel the younger generation of political individuals, politicians, have that quality. Some don't, but
but actually what I see, again, outside looking in, is that a lot of these politicians, they do actually have that individual personal demeanor that is no different from us, actually, maybe, but because of the party lines and the themes and whatever ideologies that they have to portray, that's when they get drawn into that, and they may even maybe sometimes going against their personal principles. But
I won't call it out. With personal principles against their personal principles, that is their call to decide. What I mean? But we should be able to argue the case in a professional manner, especially in Parliament. When we see in Parliament, I love to be seated in Parliament. I love to be a Parliament member because I like to experience like sitting there and arguing with somebody who their argument level is probably to a certain extent, and I like to have that debate with the individual in Parliament. Because I always feel that their egos stand in front of them. Before the people. We need to go into Parliament and let go all your egos and respect one another. It's very difficult because rakyat is watching. I think it says the rakyat is watching out there. Continue. The rakyat is watching out there. And they still don't get the hint. They continue to be these individuals that to sometimes to a certain extent embarrass us as Malaysians. So. I would like to put myself in that hopefully. The lion's den, I would say.
Well, I mean, I think what we're seeing nowadays is there's a lot of younger, bolder, and hopefully those who can last the race or so. Like, that's another thing about politics, kan?
Yeah.
You are also very strong about education.
Yes.
And again, I don't blame you because you're full of ideas. Tell us a bit more about your view. I recently read or I heard about social media and how, if we're not careful, future generations will abuse social media or even make it worse for themselves. What's your thought about how to bring in education or blend it in somewhere?
I personally, I'll be very honest. I wasn't an A grade student in school.
Okay.
But I tried my best. I gave it everything I had. You know what I mean? There were some subjects that I could not absorb. You know what I mean? It just didn't work for me. And I embraced it and went, you know what? This one's not for me. You know what I mean? But there were subjects like history and so on that I enjoyed. You know, and when you enjoy something, you obviously want to learn more. Today's in social media, the younger generation, they love social media. Their phones are their life.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know they enjoy it. We need to put that into a syllabus. Like dulu kesedaran civic we have in school. I don't know whether they still have it today. And we learn about, lining up in the bus stop. The elderlies in the bus stop, kalau standing up, kita give them the seat.
Yes.
The cleanliness, toilet cleanliness. We were taught that in school, you know what I mean? I still hope they continue to do that, But I would love to have a subject just on social media and how do you utilize social media. The elder generation so mungkin dah stubborn, dah tak boleh tukar dah mindset. Yang muda-muda ni yang baru mula, kita boleh ajar dia. How do we utilize social media to benefit individually through business or so on? Secondly, to utilize social media to unite people. I mean, I always come with this. I think we should all, as Malaysians, be very clear. Our job today is to unite us. Social media can unite us.
Can.
But social media today is used in many negative ways. Negative news is more likes than positive stories on news on social media. I would like the young generation to learn how to use social media well. And I think that should be a syllabus in school.
Can.
Yeah, if that could happen, I think it would be such an amazing turn for the country because you will, with social media, with technology, you cannot run away. It's just going to move very fast forward. And we need to set the premise now on these young boys and girls on how to use social media. Even comments, it's very rude. Sometimes I get my comments like, "Wang ajar tu budak ni, tapi sabar, jangan respond, jangan." Sometimes I just realize don't. She's or her, just block and move on. Sometimes I just don't read, just like so, yeah.
No, it's again, it's not intentional, but if it's not curtailed, there can be it can be blown out of proportion,
of
and it's like damage beyond repair, kan. I think Finas also has got that also mandate, kan, to find ways to use film and the industry to unite, kan.
I've said in my speeches the last 3 months is we want to use cinema to unite Malaysia,
kan.
Movies to unite Malaysia. The stories are to unite Malaysians. We go to the cinema and unite each other. I would love that. Before every film is played, every screening, you have to play Negaraku in the theatre.
Yeah.
I don't know why we took that out. Before ada,
kan?
We all stand, even foreigner, you stand, you respect our national anthem.
Yeah.
And
Be
we
proud
sing
of it.
Negaraku, we're proud, and then we sit down, we watch a movie together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I talk to Minister about this.
Yeah.
This is a good idea.
No, but we have had, I mean, in fact, on Jumpa Cerita, we did feature Tunku Mona and Ko Haris, their film Rain Town, kan? Which was, again, amazing for us because it was a portrayal, fine, of a Chinese family in Taiping, but the values were common, irrespective of race and religion. And it was, of course, by a director who couldn't speak the language and yet was able to produce a film in Cantonese. It was amazing. I
enjoy when movies. I love our Malaysia culture. I love the people of Malaysia.
Okay.
I love the stories to be told. And when I see these kind of films being made, and they're sometimes not commercial films. But these are the films that tell the story of us. and Finas is always there to support these kind of stories. That is why we have grants. This is why we have FEMI, we have Dana DKK, we have marketing funds, we have post-production funds. We're building all our studios, upgrading everything bit by bit. We're moving to a new building, with the new facilities and so on. The image of Finas has to be a little bit younger, a little bit more hip, even though we're a government agency. So I'm trying to get the younger groups to come in and start, sharing ideas in Finas and so on. We need a hub where all these young ones can come and express their thoughts and minds and stories
side.
and creative side. And they work together to build something from nothing.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm sure we are not short of creative ideas.
No.
You look at what they are able to produce even on their own social media. Imagine if all of those ideas come towards ni kan. It's like incubating, ideas of using the creativity side of them kan.
You'd be surprised how talented our filmmakers are today.
Another side of you, I know, Hans, you're very much the family guy. Despite of all your business, your activities, your politics, and I've seen particularly you're very close to your nephews and your nieces. From Brian, the ones who are small, Jaden, you are like the Uncle Hans who's like constantly pampering them.
Yeah, and then after that, give back to the parents.
No. I've been to football matches and all.
I sayang all of them. I love them.
I'm going to be personal. You're still one of Malaysia's most eligible bachelors.
Yeah.
Do you see that time will come where you're going to finally settle down, if I may ask? I'm sure there are a lot of ladies out there in the audience who know you from whenever.
Yeah, I think the time's coming soon.
Yeah,
good. I think that I'm to each his own.
Yep.
Everybody's time is when God decides. In Muslim world, say we leave it to God. You know what I mean? Our destiny is in His hands. And I will say that as well. I think when I go to church today, I always pray to God to send me someone that would be my life partner now. I never used to do that.
Wow.
I always go to church and I pray for other people, my family, my friends, to make sure everybody's safe, It was always about other people. When I pray to God, I always pray for other people.
All right.
But the one I'm asking right now is, I can share this very openly, is, that person will be in my life soon.
Nice.
And
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm praying for right now, and that's what I ask.
Yeah.
So if I keep saying it in my head, I believe that and I think I'm ready for it.
Good.
I don't think I was ready to be a partner when I was in my 30s.
I see. Yeah.
I don't think I was ready. And with all honesty, I was not. I'm a workaholic. I was a bit stubborn. I wasn't the same person I am today. Today, I feel I'm a bit more settled, maybe because of my age, and I'm a bit wiser. I've been through hurdles in my life and so on. Small issues will always be in our life. To all of you guys behind this camera, you will have problems in your life. Question is how you manage it. Don't let it affect you that your life stops or your life, you don't sleep at night. Your mind is only stressed about it. You should be able to let go and say, look, it'll fix it when the time comes. I'll fix it. So manage one thing at a time. So today I'm a bit different. Today I feel if I have a partner in my life, I feel I can give more. I feel I can manage my time better, even though I'm busy. But I know I can manage my time. And that person is important to me. I will make time for that person. I will, and I think it's coming soon.
Good.
I can't say names, I can't say whatever, but I just say I think it's going to come soon.
No, and again, you make a lovely life companion, and you would deservedly have a lovely life companion.
I ni depan je nampak macam ni, tapi belakang I macam kucing. I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
Kita depan je nampak macam ni, tapi actually hati.
No, I've seen you with family. I've seen you with your nephews and nieces, and they're lucky to have you.
I'm lucky to have them, because without them, I think, I wouldn't, at the end of the day, when I do things, I always think about my family. I always think about my friends, the people who were there for me. I've been through troubled times, and my friends have been there for me, and I will never forget this. Something I never forget in my life is the people that are there for me when you're at your worst. I never forget.
Yeah, that's
sampai
good.
mati I akan ingat.
Yeah,
and I will be there. Telefon hari ni I pergi.
Yeah.
I will. If somebody calls me now, I would get up and say, we're done here. I got to go if it's urgent. if that person was important.
True.
Yeah.
No. Listen, bro, I mean, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad we finally got you on the sofa. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep in touch.
We do, yeah.
And that's so kind of you too. But I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
I do hope that your ambitions and your dreams continue to be fulfilled.
Thank you.
You will not lose your desire, but again, we are so blessed to have someone like you.
I just want people to be united in Malaysia. I hope when the time comes, we're all stand together, hold each other's hand, support one another, not shoot each other down. We have this tendency of bila orang berjaya kita nak cuba tarik.
Kan?
Jangan. Kita support. Be happy for people.
Kan?
And stop bitching about people. Stop talking negative about people. You just focus on the positivities. Focus on the things that we can control. You can't control it. Let it go.
Yeah.
I want to see a united Malaysia.
Yeah.
I just shared the last bit before
Please.
we have to go. I was on the High Council of PKR, and Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister, PMX, Dato Sri said, Hans, you're in the creative industry, get all your friends to unite each other. We need a united Malaysia. We cannot have fractions in this country. We need to unite the people, irrelevant of age, religion, race. Unite everybody, Hans. With that, every position I get, every speech I get, every podcast I have, I will say this, what I'm saying right now. We have to unite for the benefit of each other. If we don't do that, this country is going to break. We do not want to be like the other countries.
Yeah.
We are on our own. We stand alone. We support each other. That is how we create a successful country. You know what I mean? And the country is us. When I come back from anywhere around the world, I'm so happy to come back to Malaysia. Sampai KLIA, like, I'm home. I enjoy going to other countries to experience things, but I look forward to coming home. Because this is my home, this is your home, this is everyone's home, and we got to look after it.
Yeah.
Irrelevant of the politics, irrelevant of the what people are saying out there or trying to break us. Make your decision. Be united. That's all I ask everybody, and I will continue to say this in any interview I have.
No, thank you. And again, we need these reminders. Of not, we just take it for granted, especially for our children and the future generations. Yeah? Okay. Bro, thank you again.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best. We're certainly going to keep in touch. And please, we hope that viewers are seeing you on this episode will support us in Cuba Cerita.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've been watching all the episodes. It's really good what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, a part of Finas, we appreciate, podcasts like this.
Thank you. And
thanks, buddy.
We hope to continue to do. So, everyone, thank you once again for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. Please continue to support us, and hopefully we can continue to invite guests like Hans we have today, and continue doing what we're trying to do. So till we see you again, wish you all the best. Have a good week ahead. Assalamualaikum. Selamat sejahtera.